All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. Kohala, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. All right, shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. Okay. So I saw this video. All right. This video is a very short video. All right, but it's very, very prophetic. All right. It's very, you know what I'm saying? Or shall I say it's very much in line with prophecy. You know what I'm saying? And it shows the time that we're in, man. Esau is exposed. Esau is, he's scrambling right now, man. All right, because of this exposure. You see what I'm saying? I believe it was Elder Ashiyar who did a video showcasing that these people, you know, the name of Esau, Edom, okay, is becoming mainstream now. People are actively speaking about that name. People are actually speaking about, you know, who Esau was. You know what I'm saying? So the words of the prophets, okay, the word of the Lord being spoken through the prophets remains to be faithful and true. Okay? So according to, all right, 2 Thessalonians, all right, the son of perdition is revealed, man. The son of perdition is revealed. You know what I'm saying? And Lord willing, I'll share a little bit of that that video from the elder. You know what I'm saying? But I want to touch on this one first. All right. So I came across this video on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And I already knew straight up I got to do a lesson on it. But lo and behold, you know what I'm saying? Before I'm about to leave the plantation, a co-worker of mine had texted me this very same video. So I was like, yeah, that's confirmation, man. I got to do this. I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? So Esau's caught, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau is caught. Right? This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. And thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh. All right. And this Babylon, all right, this new Babylon that we're speaking about in terms of prophecy is America. It is America. This is that great city. You see what I'm saying? Everybody wants to talk about prophecy. Everybody wants to talk about the Bible all of a sudden. But nobody wants to point out that this place is Babylon the Great. All right. This place is that great city. All right. That's slated for destruction. Nobody wants to talk about that because everybody wants to remain in a hopeful spirit that, oh, this place could come back. You know what I'm saying? This place it can bounce back, man. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tell us otherwise. All right. Scriptures say otherwise. Let's go to Jeremiah real quick. All right, Jeremiah chapter 51, and let's start at verse 7. It reads, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Okay? And every nation wants that vengeance. You see? And it's very prophetic. You know what I'm saying? This is a video that was released by Iran. Okay? And it starts off by showing that the Israelites, all right, the Israelites, beginning with the northern kingdom, was oppressed by this very devil, Esau, Edom. You see what I'm saying? This is that deadly wound that was healed. Okay? And that deadly wound going into Rome, having been overthrown. All right, what was it? The Western Roman Empire, or the pagan Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? And so that was that wound that was upon Esau's kingdom, which was the fourth beast. Okay, but after the Renaissance, what resulted from that was the rebuilding. All right, Renaissance means rebirth. So it was the rebuilding of that fourth beast, being Rome. See what I'm saying? And so here we are at the very end of that revived Roman Empire. Okay? 250 years. This place had a long stretch, man. All right, but it's time for it to go. Continuing on. Verse 8. Babylon, Slakia. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. This is that same city, that same whore that sitteth upon many waters, as written in Revelation chapter 17. So without further ado, let's listen to this video. All right. How prophetic is that? Wasn't that amazing? That was incredible, man. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, it shows you just where we are in terms of prophecy. All right, because it starts off by showing the northern kingdom, all right, as represented by the so-called Native Indians, Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? And then if you understand history, all right, it started off with the northern kingdom, and then it went on to the southern kingdom. So that's representing the tribes of Israel at the very start of the video, right? Let's go back. Okay, at the very start of the video, you see, okay, the children of Israel being represented here. You see what I'm saying? As the scriptures say, in Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33, it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. You see, so it starts off with the tribes. Kohalo Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Then it goes on to Japan. All right, Japan got Hiroshima, okay, and Nagasaki. You see what I'm saying? It's showcasing all these nations that America has done dirt, that America has done dirty. You know what I'm saying? Beginning with the children of Israel. You see? Your sins have reached to the heavens, man. Okay? It doesn't matter how much history that you try to erase. It's not working. It is not working. Let me get this real quick. All right? As a matter of fact, so this is Jeremiah chapter 49. All right? Jeremiah 49 and verse 10, it says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." You know what I'm saying? It goes from Japan on to Vietnam. You see what I'm saying? From Vietnam on to Yemen. Okay, and from Yemen over to Palestine. Okay, from Palestine to the Epstein Island. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nobody is allowing you to get away with this bullshit, man. No one is allowing it. No one is turning a blind eye anymore. You see? Nobody. All right, I think I saw another video where what was it? I think it was the Pakistanis, or it was the Afghanis, or so it was other. All right, it was other nations in West Asia who have followed suit with burning the effigy, or with the effigy of Baal. You know what I'm saying? With the same symbol in his forehead. Okay. So all these Ishmaelites, all these Elamites, you know what I'm saying, they're joining forces against that common enemy. You see what I'm saying? Continuing on. Then it goes to Iran. Then Hassim Soleimani. All right. Then Ayatollah Khamenei. Okay. They want vengeance. And all these nations are going to give vengeance. You see what I'm saying? All these nations is going to give it to you, man. Right? Boom. Chin it up. Boom. Right there, man. You see? Right there. Jeremiah chapter 50. Verse 14. "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh." You see what I'm saying? Let me do this real quick. Let's go to chat. All right. Was Baal was Baal worshipped? And I know the answer to this, of course, but just want to all right. Just want to get this to edification's sake. All right, was Baal worshipped by the Babylonians? Okay, short answer, not primarily, but there's some overlap in how the term was used. All right, because we know that Baal goes into the the worship from the Canaanites. You see what I'm saying? All right, where is that in? All right, let's stay in Jeremiah real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 19 and verse 5. It says, "They have built also the high places of Baal, to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind." You see? So it says, what about the Babylonians? The Babylonians had their own pantheon centered on gods like Marduk, Ishtar, Enlil. All right. The Canaanites, the Phoenicians, all right, primarily worshiped Baal. Okay. So, let's see. All right. Let's go back to chapter 50 again. Slacky. All right. So Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 14 again, it says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon the great, against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh. For it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her. As she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land." And that's literally what's happening, man. People are leaving America in droves. You see what I'm saying? Why do you think all of a sudden they sending ICE agents to these airports and whatnot, man? They trying to make sure you don't leave. You see? This thing is happening, man. All right? This thing is happening. There's nowhere left for Babylon to hide, man. You know? Turn this is the truth about that whole Statue of Liberty, man. You know what I'm saying? All right? It's not about liberty. You see what I'm saying? So, the video says one vengeance for all, man. The scriptures clearly say that it's time for vengeance to be had on this whore. You see what I'm saying? The death is coming upon this bitch. Let's go to Habakkuk. All right, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Let's hit verse 4. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. It reads, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, all right, as you've seen, right? But gathereth unto him all nations, you see what I'm saying? And heapeth unto him all people. You see? All people. And it began first and foremost with the children of Israel. Okay? Verse 6, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay is going into heavy debts. All right, heavy debts. That's that thick clay. In the Hebrew, that word is ibatyat. Okay, heavy debts. You see? And this war by itself has costed the American taxpayer at least $1 billion a day. You see what I'm saying? So there's nowhere left, you know what I'm saying, for this devil to go, man. All right? He's exposed now. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? Vengeance. And awake that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them? Why? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. There's only one nation in prophecy that fits this description, and that's Babylon the Great, aka America. There's no other people being these except for these Edomites, man. You see? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Literally, right now, he's trying to cover his tracks and hide the history. Cover up the history, man. Burn up the books. You know what I'm saying? Redact these names. Make sure that nobody remembers what he has done in the world. You see what I'm saying? This is what he's doing. All right? It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. You see? The violence, man. You have been that hammer of the whole world. All right? And now it's time for you to break. Let's go to the book of Numbers. All right. This is Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33. All right, and it reads, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. You see what I'm saying? You shed the blood on all these different nations. You shed the blood here. All right. You're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to be dealt with, man. Right? What else? Because we were found in your hand, damn it. We were found in your hands. This is Exodus chapter 21 and verse 16. And he that selleth a man he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And this is why these devils are trying to change they're trying to change the history. They're trying to say that that so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, all right, they wanted indentured servitude. They wanted to be servants, you know what I'm saying? They offered up their land. They did this, they did that, you know what I'm saying? We weren't the villains. We're the victims, you know what I'm saying? This is what Esau loves to do. He loves to play this role of being a victim, when the world is finally figuring out that he has always been the villain the whole time. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 25. Let's read verse 7. It reads, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. All the nations can see who the true problem is. You about to lock this whole world down a second time. The world knows who the true villain is. And it's the same thing of what was told to Cain. And you devils, you Edomites, you so-called self-proclaimed white people, you see what I'm saying? You come in that spirit of Cain. Your forefather Esau was Cain reincarnated. And just as Cain wanted to slay his brother Abel, Esau wants to slay his brother Jacob. You see? But this time, you finally get stopped. You see? The Lord has allowed you to continue and continue. You see what I'm saying? He has allowed you to wiggle around the world, like Elder Yashawamba likes to say. He's allowed you to do that. You see what I'm saying? But now it's time for you to pay for what you've done. Now it's time. The bill is due, and your debt must be paid. Let's end this off in the book of Revelation. As a matter of fact, now I wanted to show you that video from the Elder Yeshua, Elder Ashiya Salak. Let's go to Revelation real quick. All right. Revelation chapter 13, because this is what these so-called Christians never like to jump into. They never like to deal with this precept. All right. This is Revelation 13 and verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right. Again, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You brought the children of Israel into captivity. Your ass is going to go into captivity. You see? Yes, all these nations are going to get their judgment. All right. But it was you who led the charge, Edom. That's why there's no promise of repentance. There's no promise of mercy, I should say. There's no promise of mercy for you Edomites, man. There is none. You see? Because y'all did the most. The Lord was but a little displeased, but you furthered the affliction, man. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, and we have been patiently waiting. You see what I'm saying? For all these nations to wake the fuck up and see your wickedness, man. We've been patiently waiting, all right, for the time to come where the Lord would turn the tables on you Edomites, man, for you being proud. You've been proud, you've been boastful. You puffed your chest. And you said nobody can see you. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can do anything, man. You see? And here it is. You're being humbled on the world stage by little old Iran. A bunch of sad niggas that you thought couldn't defend their land. And now you're being made a laughing stock, and the whole world can see your skirt. The whole world can see you. All your private parts, man. The skirt is lifted up, man. You see? No more hiding it. So let me show you that video from Elder Ashayar before I close this out. Bear with me. All right. So this is the video from Elder Ashayar's Elder Ashayar's page. All right. The name of the lesson is "They Are Worried and Losing Sleep over the revealing of the biblical Edomites." Okay. They are worried and losing sleep over the revealing of the biblical Edomites. Okay. His page is GMS All Precepts. Subscribe and be edified, man. But let's listen to a little bit of this. It says, for the first time in history, rainfall has been documented from this location. All right. They're in Mount Petra. Mount Petra. This was the original homeland of the Edomites. Okay.
What does the name Esau mean?
So Esau is born. When he's born, he's not introduced as particularly flattering. Like we're told that he comes out and he's red and he's hairy, like he's wearing a cloak, right? So he's hairy and red. And so the name Esau literally means hairy. It stems from the same word that produces hairy in the Hebrew. And then another one of his names will be Edom, which means...
All right, so to correct them. All right, to correct them. Esau in the Hebrew is Ishar. All right, or Shashua, you know what I'm saying? Which means wasted away is he. Okay, wasted away. You see what I'm saying? And that gives you a clue into his physical features. You know what I'm saying? Because what would be wasted away? All right, what wouldn't be there that was present in everyone else around him? Okay. What would be absent from what was the norm? Let's take it back a little bit, right? There you go. Slakia. All right. Ishar wasted away. And what was wasted away was his pigmentation. You see what I'm saying? It says Esau was red, all right, all over like an hairy garment, all right? So he was red. He didn't have melanin. What he deals with it was a lack of melanin. That's why he can't stay out in the sun. You see what I'm saying? He will get cancer, right?
What does the name Esau mean?
So Esau is born. When he's born, he's not introduced as particularly flattering. Like we're told that he comes out and he's red and he's hairy, like he's wearing a cloak, right? So he's hairy and red. And so the name Esau literally means hairy. It stems from the same word that produces hairy in the Hebrew. And then another one of his names will be Edom, which means red. Another one of his names will be Edom, which means red. And so his descendants.
Yeah, this nigga look like an old shriveled up nutsack. It's crazy work, man. Crazy work. Yo, the Lord was ruthless when he made this joker. Boy, these Edomites, man. But this shows the power of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because they literally looked like beasts up inside those mountains. inside those caves. They looked like beasts, hairy beasts. You see what I'm saying? When we drove them into the Caucasus Mountains after Rome had fallen. All right? They were like beasts walking around on all fours. You know what I'm saying? Cannibalizing each other. You see what I'm saying? The Lord cleaned this man up and gave him a Gillette fucking razor. And now this devil rules the world, man. That's how cold the Lord is. All right? And as it's written in the book of Malachi, he said that he would return and rebuild the desolate places. You see? And that's exactly what Edom has done. And now at the end of this thing, now he's going full scorched earth because he knows that his time is up. His time is up, man. Your rulership was a temporary one. It wasn't meant to last forever. And thank the Lord for that. You see what I'm saying? Because can you imagine it? Boy, people are already complaining now. If he was to have full control over this planet indefinitely, oh man, nigga, this place would be done. See what I'm saying? But now these Edomites are talking openly about who is Esau Edom. The world is talking about who is Esau Edom. Okay? The world is talking about him now.
Another one of his names will be Edom, which means red. And so his descendants, the nation that comes forth out of Esau, is going to be the Edomites. They're a tremendously wicked people group, but that name means red. So the two names associated with them, hairy and red. Congratulations, Esau.
All right, so you can watch the rest of that video. Okay, again, this is from GMS All Precepts, Elder Ashiyar's channel. They are worried and losing sleep over the revealing of the biblical Edomites. You see what I'm saying? So let me end this off with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right. Verse 3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first." All right. That falling away has happened. All right. Where the Israelites forgot who they were, the Israelites lost their customs. You see what I'm saying? Lost everything about us, and we became unknown to the world. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now at the end of our captivity, our final captivity, now these Edomites are being revealed. The son of perdition. Perdition means destruction. And these are the sons of destruction, man. They have brought destruction throughout the entire world. You see? Verse 4, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High." Okay, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And this is that time. This is that time for the world to finally realize who the true problem is. See what I'm saying? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Okay? Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord hath consumed with the spirit of his mouth, being the prophets. So now since the men of the Lord have gone out and have preached this word, and this word has gone throughout the four corners of the earth, and everybody knows about the Hebrew Israelites, and everybody is seeing who this devil is in real time. Now it's time for the truth to be established. You see? Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. All right? And we've been out here on the highways and the hedges and on the unicorn, which is the internet, 24/7, man. 24/7. You know what I'm saying? The words of the prophets can be heard all around the world, any time frame. You see what I'm saying? If I'm not doing the lesson, another man's doing the lesson, or another man's doing the lesson. You see what I'm saying? Or another brother around the world is doing the lesson. Okay, the prophets were activated all around the world to do this work. You see what I'm saying? Now it's time for Babylon to be brought down, the hub of these Edomites, man, spiritual Basra. All right, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the Lord is coming now, and they know that he's coming. This is why they're moving the way they're moving. You see what I'm saying? This is why they're operating the way they're operating. Okay? All sense of prudence and wisdom, you know what I'm saying, and logic is just going right out the window. Now they're just blatantly lying in everybody's faces. You see what I'm saying? Because they ain't got nothing else to work with. You see? And it's a beautiful thing to see the downfall of our enemies, man. All right? But I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And Shalom.